Hello there, Q.u.A.n.IQ here. Before I get into the video, like, comment, subscribe. Working on saying that. It's hard. Anywho's, let me get into the story. So, I was 8 at the time. My brother was like 1, some change, whatever. And he was born a month overdue. So I remember because I was born March 19th. He was supposed to be born April 19th. He wasn't born until May 20th. So he was roasting in the oven a little bit too long. So when he came out, he was chubby. He was just a chubby wubby baby. Like really, like fat cheeks, just chubs everywhere, rolls all through his body, rolling on the river. I'll stop. But yeah, so he was always on the bigger side. And this story. So my school was like 5-10 minute walk away. To me, it was like 2 seconds down the block. I was out, I was ready. But my mom insisted on walking me. And, now I get it. I understand because, pedophiles. But I've always wanted to be independent. So I always begged my mom to let me walk by myself, because walking with her and my brother, I had to wait for them to get ready. I was always late. Back then, I actually cared about school and liked it, which I think this was the last year that I actually liked school. But so I was mad and upset that I was always late, But she wouldn't budge. She wouldn't do it. She insisted on walking me. And I had to wait for her to get ready, her to get my brother ready. They took forever to get ready. Me, I'm always a get ready in like 5 minutes type of person, unless I need to like do extra stuff. Then it takes me a little bit longer. But other than that, clothes, brush my teeth, out the door. But yeah. So my brother, since he was a little bit bigger, his legs just curved in, and he was like extremely bow-legged, like couldn't walk straight type of thing. So his doctor, told my mom to let him walk more and then not use a walker, because that's why his legs were doing that. Like it was teaching him how to walk, but it wasn't teaching him how to walk not crooked, straight. I don't know. So this day, my mom decided to listen to his doctor. She took forever to get them ready and decided to let him walk. I remember at this time I was like 5-10 minutes late already, so I was just done. And the way my building in New York was set up was like there was like a bunch of buildings. They all freaking looked alike, and for some reason there was just a giant sidewalk and maybe a couple steps before you actually got to like the main sidewalk street. So I remember we were leaving the house, and I walked like a couple steps onto the sidewalk, and I turned around and my mom's just holding my brother's little hands in his arms, and he's walking, and they had barely made a dent into the sidewalk. So I said, you know what, Mom? This is gonna be the last time I'm gonna beg you. So I begged for dear life. I begged like I had never begged anybody before in my life. Like I begged like I was begging the cops to release me from jail. Like I begged And I begged and I begged. And she cracked and said, fine, go ahead. If you want to walk by yourself, walk by yourself. Do you know how to get to the school? I'm like, yeah, Mom, we walk there every freaking day. Like, even when I didn't have school, there was a park in between our house and the school. There was a park between our house and the school. So sometimes we would just walk to the park. So I knew how to get to my freaking school. She's like, okay, don't talk to strangers, don't do this. I'm like, yeah, Mom, I know not to talk to strangers because I can get kidnapped or whatever. Like, at that point, I didn't care. Like, I just wanted to get to school. It took her a while because she was like, oh, isn't your brother so cute? And I'm like, no, let's go pick him up. Let's go to school. Like, I was done. But yeah, so she let me walk to school by myself. I remember I got there, I was late, I was so freaking mad. You guys know that saying or expression or whatever, you step on a crack, you break your mother's back. Listen to me. Me and my friends made that into a game, okay? It was a thing. I think even when they stopped playing it, I was always still playing it because I'm a winner. I always won. I'm a winner. But yeah, so we played that game. But this day, I was mad at my mom. So I said, you know what? F it. If I step on this crack, I don't even care if I break my mother's back. I was bold. I know. So I remember I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I remember looking down at the little crack in the little school tile thing, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I stood there for like a whole minute, like hovering my leg above it, putting my leg back down, like, no, I can't do it. Going like, you know what, your mother pissed you off so bad, you might as well do it, F her. So I finally stepped on it, and I felt my insides shiver, break, and I was like, oh my God, I won't do that ever again. It felt wrong. Like, the whole day after that, I felt off. And then when I got out of school, I was walking home, everything seemed different and weird. I was like, you're going crazy, it's all in your head. And then when I got to my house, my aunt was parked up front, skirt, and I thought that was weird because she had never been to our house. I didn't even think she knew where we lived, but hey, to each his own. She started grilling me like, where were you? I'm like, school. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like a Wednesday, like, are you okay? She's like, you walked home by yourself? I'm like, yeah. Like, it's not a big deal. It's down the block. She's like, it's not down the block. I was trying to find the school and I couldn't find it and I got lost, blah, whatever. I'm like, okay, you got lost. What that got to do with me? I know where my school is. I'm good. And I'm like, after like a little while of her interrogating me, I'm like, where's my mom? She was like, oh, let's go upstairs. I'm like, okay. So we go upstairs. I lived on like the 6th floor or something. And we get in the house. I'm like, so where's my mom? And she's like, oh, your mom was in an accident. She hurt her back. And I was like, what have I done? I'm a monster. And yeah, needless to say, I didn't see my mom for like 3 days because she was like in the hospital. When I did see her, I was like, I'm so sorry, I love you so much, I didn't mean to step on the crack, I didn't know it was a real thing, I thought it was just a game, a joke, something that my friends were trying to peer pressure me into doing. I didn't say all that because I don't think I knew what peer pressure was, but yeah. And she laughed and she said, "What are you talking about? I was at the park trying to run after your brother. He was about to fall. I went to catch him and I sprained." She like pulled like 5 muscles in her back, sprained her back, something like that. So technically, if you think about it, it was my brother's fault. But I still don't forgive myself until this day. Actually, I do. Because I was 8, and that's crazy. Like, it actually makes no sense. But yeah, needless to say, I didn't step on another crack for years, probably until like 3 years ago. It was intense because I hurt my mama, you know. I stepped on that crack and I broke her back. My mama, I'm so sorry. I love you. But yeah. That was the time I broke my mother's back. So until next time, bye.